Look,
There
we're
we
right
are.
on.
We're straight on.
No titles this evening, Carl.
No, running off a phone. I'm not entirely sure where all the commands are. So
I've just got someone over here peddling to keep my system going.
that sounds like what's happening internally to me. I'm still trying to recover.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this special edition of Let's Talk Trek, or as we call it, Destination Debrief. As you'll see, you have the A team here, myself and Carl. Richard and Dan can't be bothered to turn up. Drunk or whatever. Probably still too tired from the weekend. And we just thought we'd pop along and see how everybody's doing. Have a chat about the weekend, see what your thoughts were, your favourite bits, your least favourite bits. What your plans are for any future destinations, and let's see who's out there anyway. So we've got
We've got Stephen Walk from Orlando.
Are you actually in Orlando now, Stephen? Because obviously you were on our bridge not sort of more than 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah. We've got Vicky. Evening, Vicky.
Vicky, you can't get enough of us, can you?
No, hope you're feeling all right, Vicky.
Yes. Yes, it is known that there was some evidence COVID had invaded the hotel over the weekend, so it may be worth you testing if you were there. Or if you're asymptomatic. I don't know what the rules are anymore. I don't think there are any, are there?
There are no rules anymore, I'm afraid. Evening, Charlotte. Yes, Stephen flew out on Wednesday, so he's fresh back home and tuning straight into us. We had that much of an impression on him.
So, Stephen, just to be clear, you came over to the UK convention. Do you normally go to the US ones, like the Creation event? That's the one that's Vegas now, isn't it? Was there a New York one? Carl, can you remember?
No, it was Chicago, the last one, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah. So perhaps, Stephen, you could tell us in the comments your view on the British version against the American version. That'll be quite interesting.
Yeah, and we've got Adam in the room. Evening, Adam.
Now, Adam, once again, thank you so much for everything you did to help us out over the weekend. Adam's absolute trooper. He turns up as soon as there's any heavy lifting to be done, and he gets on with it and helps us put the bridge up and take it down. And he stands around and helps people take their photographs. So there were a heap of people who helped us actually with the photographs around the bridge and the transporter. Carl, you did loads. Kian did loads.
Yeah, Gary.
Gary, of course.
Gary helped us man it. Yeah. So many people giving up their time. It was great.
Yeah. So Adam in particular and Gary Kian, any of you who are watching, thanks so much for everything you did for us. You really did make a difference and give us a chance to get a cup of tea now and again.
Yeah.
Richard,
loving looking
at why not? Why weren't you there to come to our panel where literally both of our viewers attended?
Yeah, we've got Steve in. Evening, Steve, and we've got Ruth as well.
Hello,
evening,
Ruth. You of course amused me by saying that it was nice to finally meet us, but we've met you lots of times. We obviously aren't very memorable.
Not in person, anyway. We obviously have a bigger impact on screen.
Right, American actors seem to attract more actors, harder to get them across the pond. Well, to be fair, they're all going to be based in the States, aren't they? Because that's where the show's made. Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know how big the EastEnders convention is in Las Vegas. To drag all
To be fair, I'm not sure how big anything like an Emmerdale convention would be anywhere south of the M25.
Now, I'm going to throw out a controversial opinion for you here, Carl. So I've been going to these conventions in a meaningful way for since the first destination, which is 11 years ago now.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I'd only been to a handful of sci-fi things, but I'm kind of acted out. I'm just not fussed about meeting members of the cast anymore. I've met all the big ones who I want to meet, so I've met all the main TNG, DS9, etc. cast, Voyager cast, even some of Enterprise. But I've got a big file up here with all my autographs in and signed photographs, and things all carefully protected in acid-free containers and so forth.
Yeah,
and I've not anywhere to display them. If that's what I wanted to do, so they're kind of on a shelf in a dark corner gathering dust. And I've just got to the point of thinking, well, Am I fussed about meeting actors anymore? I don't think I am.
I suppose it's the thing is, the more that you go to these conventions, certainly I've found, and especially the way sort of like our input and actual sort of like involvement with the conventions has evolved over the past 11 years, especially over the last few recent years.
Yeah.
I suppose it changes your perspective on it slightly, and your sort of like outlook on it. Your expectations change, and you find that you're enjoying different aspects of it that you didn't necessarily know existed, but you look forward to just as much, if not more, because you get to enjoy the basics of what the conventions are about, really, which is everyone getting together and being together as friends. You know, once you've done your first couple and, like you say, got those big names that you wanted, then you can actually focus on the important parts after that, so to speak.
The bar, you mean?
Yes, very much so.
And hunting rogue Klingon warriors through the hotel corridors.
Yes, or transporting balloon arches through said corridors.
Now, for anyone who's missed this, we have put the video up, and it was on our broadcast on Sunday. We had a little adventure on Saturday night where, well, look, let's put it this way: drink was taken. And after a few drinks, obviously, you think you are the funniest people alive. And let's face it, obviously, we are.
Yeah, without.
But yeah, two of us just walked into the hall where the party was.
Yeah, I believe it was you and Gary with the ultimate confidence.
Well, there you go. You've given away the details of who it was. But yes, it was me. I walked in and just said, "I'm here to collect the balloon arch." And the man there said, "Okay." I never said they were mine, or I had any right to collect them. I removed the pole that was holding them together. I felt that was an expensive piece of kit. I left that behind. We connected them all together. We took them on a tour of the hotel. This is not the first time, is it, Carl, that we've been on a trip through a hotel with a balloon arch?
No, in all fairness, though, it was probably a shorter trip. The last one we had to transport through Portsmouth before we got it back to the hotel.
What about a mile along a dual carriageway?
Yeah. However, the funny thing is, I actually had on my phone, you know how it pops up like memories this time last year, today in last year you did this. Yeah, it was actually a year to the day that we did the first balloon arch. I couldn't believe it when I saw it flag up on my phone.
Our dear friend John, who helped us carry that balloon arch, but then didn't expect that we were going to force it into his room and leave him to deal with it. He did enjoy the trip up in the lift, didn't he? Got a lovely picture of him going.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of tradition now that we have to deliver a balloon arch to his room.
The funny bit is that you can't hear it on the video audio, unfortunately, but just as we get to John's room and I knock on the door, all I heard from the other side of the door was, "Best not be balloons." And then the door opens and in march over 100 balloons attached.
I think it might be a couple of hundred, really.
Yep.
Sir Richard. Well, if you're commenting, can't you come on?
Very kind of you to say that, Richard.
Now, who listened to Richard's musical? Well, Richard and my musical interlude. I was the main performer. Richard was the support artist. Good evening, Gary. Not so well attended, the musical interlude, but I think if we do future events, everyone will realise that's where the real action was. And both of you who attended would probably back that up. We wore our cruise ship uniforms for you and everything.
Yep, the Love Boat uniforms.
Yeah, Steve, the sets, they're our little toys. Glad you enjoyed them. We built them to be shared and enjoyed. So the happy bit for us is seeing people enjoying them. And that's why we're putting lots and lots and lots and lots of photographs up at the moment.
Oh, yes.
But if you've got any peeps, do tag us if we're in them or we're in them or whatever. Just cause.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the cocktail master classes, Carl.
Well, I was amazed. I've got to be honest. I was absolutely amazed at the turnout for it. It was such good fun, really was, and everyone got so involved with it, which isn't surprising. It was free booze on offer, let's be honest. So, who wouldn't want to attend? But
I hear
honestly,
that, there was a queue around the block to get
yeah,
into the mixing class.
I genuinely thought, because it was a last-minute addition to the program, not many people would know about it, and there might be sort of like 5, 10 people in the room. And what the lovely Emma that was helping out run the room for the day, that helped all of us with our things in the activity room. What a legend she was. She worked it out. There were about 45 people in the room, and she reckoned with the queue she could have filled the room twice more.
Right. Okay. So, well, 45, nothing nice. So about 130 people potentially
Yeah.
trying to get in. That's an appreciable proportion of the number. It wasn't a paid thing, was it?
No, it was the same as the other activities that you guys ran. It was all part of the free content.
But did you have to get a pass or a ticket or something to come in just so they could control the numbers? Because the room had a finite number limit, didn't it? That was the issue.
Did. No, it was basically a first come, first served. If you got in the queue quick enough, you were in.
Well, perhaps it's ticket only next time then.
Possibly. We'll have to see what happens.
Oh, we could do golden tickets where if you get a golden ticket, you get to be one of the people who has a cocktail inflicted on them, like the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster.
I like the way you use the term inflicted. You tried most of the cocktails. You were still standing at the end.
I'm made of hardy stuff, me. Well, I enjoyed it tremendously, and we then we mixed another one while we did the show live on Sunday.
We did,
and of course you did a separate session with the crew, didn't you, when they were off duty?
Yes, they asked, because a few of the crew, the guys in the blue shirts that were fantastically running the weekend sort of thing for us, quite a lot of them were gutted that they couldn't come to the cocktail session, so that they asked if I'd run a private session for them after hours while the party was going on, and they were on their downtime. So I thought, you know what, it's the least I can do. They've given up their entire weekend to make sure we could all attend the convention. So I thought, you know what, the least I can do is spend a couple of hours helping them enjoy themselves.
So both people who are watching, if you think that the cocktail masterclass was something you'd like to see again, do feel free to reach out to the destination people and tell them that, and explain why Carl should be on the main stage with me as his glamorous assistant. Oh, thank you, Stephen. We'll make sure you tell the destination people that as well.
Very proud of you to say so.
Because, if they want us to go to Blackpool, we're going to have to helicopter the sets up there. That's so far north of here. It's unbelievable.
James is really, really angling on his rider for next time to get a Chinook.
Well, that will be great for our next edition of Massive Choppers.
I've got so many comments rolling in here that they're going past before I can click on them. I'm really sorry if I miss any of them, guys.
All right, let's dip into the comments then. What do we got here? Kirk. Oh, Ed. Ed's great fun. So this is Ed, who was running the... I forget the name of the project. Is it the KS project?
The KS project, Kirk and Spock project, the fan art one.
Yeah, so Ed is doing a fantastic job of curating this collection. He is the most unbelievable Kirk lookalike I've ever seen. And I've got a great picture of Ed sitting on our bridge going on the Enterprise D style bridge. But yeah, he seemed very busy. He has a lot of stuff to curate that's been handed on to him from the cast of the original series and onwards, I think. He's a good bloke. Look him up.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlotte's hoping to come next year, as Blackpool's only just up the road. She's not attended a destination trek yet. Charlotte, you're missing out.
How have you come to be watching us then, Charlotte, out of interest? That's an interesting question. Okay, well, we'll see you potentially. Well, some of us might see you in Blackpool. Oh, dear, Steve missed out on the cocktails by the looks of it.
Missed out there. Oh, dear.
Okay. I'm sure Carl can be booked for the right price. You know, if he were offered a suite, I'm sure he'd be up there all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it Danrook? LLAP. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Dan. You're such a fan of ours. It's lovely. Oh, I should have given you a big hug.
Yeah. And then we've got Jake in the comments as well.
Yes, Jake. So Jake's had a video blog. We've posted that up. At some point we appear in it, and we hope to do a bit of work with Jake at some point when we've had the chance to recover. But at the moment, well, I'll tell you what, I mean, I've still got shuttlecraft in my driveway covered under tarpaulins because there's a thunderstorm out there at the moment.
Oh, not so good. Is it a thunderstorm or a good old plasma storm?
Hopefully just thunder, because I think I can protect her from that. But
Yeah.
most of the shuttle is back in the hangar. It's still putting stuff away.
Crikey. It does take a lot of work, folks. If you know, I mean, it's great you come in and you see all the sets and everything, but the amount of work that James has put into these things and all the guys that come and help put it together and, like he says, and take it down and transport it. But yeah, there's so much work goes into it by all the guys that do it. It's great to see so much appreciation for it.
And it's traditional that we concuss Richard at some point during the weekend by hitting him with like a bridge stanchion or something.
Yeah. Well, I missed that this year though. What almost concussed him this year?
I don't think we hit him. Well, he and I nearly melted on the way home in the like 28 degrees or whatever in the cab of the van, which had air conditioning. All it did was blew hotter air at you. But Gary, bless him, who was following us in a convoy, we were in touch on our walkie-talkies, and we'd regularly radio back to him just to check he was comfortable and his aircon was working nicely.
Was he joining in on your carpool karaoke via the walkie-talkies?
No, he wasn't. But gosh, that rendition of, was it Goldfinger we did?
Goldfinger, yes.
Yeah.
Caught me off guard, that one did. I wasn't expecting that. But speaking of karaoke, that was another one of the great free things that happened over the weekend. On the first night, on the Friday night, there was a karaoke session, and it was in a very small room, very sort of like, I'm going to use the word niche. It was a very niche crowd that turned up for the karaoke. But my goodness, what a great time we had. It was fantastic.
Yes, the UN War Crimes Tribunal has that injunction on me that says I'm not allowed to sing in public, so that's why I didn't go.
There may be a few more issued after that karaoke session as well. I can't think of the girl's name, but we had a great rendition. It was absolutely fantastic. A rendition of Faith of the Heart Done, but sung in the original Klingon. It was fantastic.
I've heard about it. Oh, I'd love to see that. Did anyone film it?
Maybe.
Yes,
No, I do. I have the video of it. I will share it at some point.
Oh, we can chuck that up in next week's show, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we have someone from the
other
side of the world.
Oh, that's almost right. Almost.
So what was your favourite part about the weekend then, James?
Oh, it was when we were in the bar drinking and the air conditioning finally caught up with a number of people in the bar. So that was a very hot bar. I must write an email to the manager of the hotel, because I'm good at writing angry emails, saying, what's the point of air conditioning if I have to come down in shorts and a t-shirt and I'm still too hot to sit in the bar? It's ridiculous.
Well, it was the Riser beach party night, so at least we were appropriately dressed in the first place. Maybe they were just trying to extend the ambience of the party room. Well,
Friday night, mate, I was in my dress uniform. That's not cool, that. It's got padding.
No, not at all.
It's like, I can only wear this for about 10 minutes, then I'm going to have to go and change.
Yeah.
Good evening, Moo. My son would say if he saw that picture, Spider-Man! Spider-Man!
Oh dear.
We had the lovely Dr. Wayne, who was there, the dinosaur doctor, and I was trying to get to film a video for her because he's obsessed with dinosaurs, where you could just go, dinosaur! She loved that. Don't know if you're watching, Emma, but it was lovely to see you this weekend.
Yeah, no, well, Emma was my karaoke partner. We already have plans afoot for next year.
Islands in the Stream?
No, we're just planning. We don't know what song it's going to be yet. We've already decided whatever.
Surely that's all you can plan with karaoke. What?
Well, we've already said that whatever it is, it needs to be in a lower octave. We did struggle slightly with Whole New World from Disney's Aladdin.
A whole new world. Yeah.
Wasn't easy.
From Encanto.
I've not seen Encanto, unfortunately.
Oh, you'll love Encanto.
Is that the one where? Is it the one where you can't talk about Bruno?
That's the one.
Right. Oh, I always find that a little bit ironic. You can't talk about him, but we'll sing a song about him.
A whole song about we can't talk about it. So let's go back over to our friends in the comments. Tell us, Pete, what else you enjoyed about the weekend, what your highlights and lowlights might be, what you'd like
Were
to
there
see.
Any of the guests that you managed to meet that were really on your hit list that you've never seen before? Any autographs that you managed to get hold of that you needed for your collection? Well, we wait for some comments to come in. What do you think about the first guest announcements for next year, James?
So who is that? Let's think.
We've got Andrew Robinson.
So we've got Garak, Tuvok, and who was it?
Who was the third?
Oh no!
No, how could we forget? It was Robbie.
Oh, Robbie Duncan McNeil, yeah, RDM.
Yeah.
Yeah, although he's another one who's he's very, very busy with his work as a director. So
yeah,
quite often tends to, if he gets a directing gig, take that over a convention. So
yeah, understandably so. You know, well, yeah, he is a hard one to pin down for these things nowadays, isn't he?
Well, he's Frakes Mark II, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I believe Frakes. I think there's a subtle reference to something that might have occurred there. Yeah. Frakes, I think, has been to mainland Europe like once in the last 10 years. I think he claimed it. Well, I say mainland. He went to the Dublin Comic Con last year. Prior to that, I think he was in the UK last in 2012, and that was something before Destination, the first Destination. I don't know if he's been over to the German conventions or otherwise, but yeah, he's very difficult to get, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah. Got Steve, who thinks the talk on the nanoprobes. That was
Jamie Gallagher,
Dr. Jamie Gallagher. Yeah, I missed all of Dr. Gallagher's talks, unfortunately. There were a few that I liked the look of.
And Chris Lee did a few decent talks, didn't he? That we didn't get to see.
Yes.
Yeah, he
did
was
sit
great
with him at breakfast though one morning.
Sorry, Carl?
Yeah, we did sit with him at breakfast, didn't we? And had a couple of interesting chats.
Yeah, discussing the Strange New Worlds episode that had the improbability drive.
Yes.
And therefore, it was the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Tequila regretting.
Oh dear, Emma. So, the tequila, what was that in, Carl?
That was in the last one. I think that was the
Orion Hurricane?
No, the tequila was in the, I want to say Aldebaran Brandy.
Oh, tequila, it makes me happy. God, it's Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
So, any other eyes that you found attractive, Vicky?
Ruth's met Robbie a couple of times.
Right.
I've not had the pleasure of meeting Mr. McNeil yet, but there are some great photos of him on the Bridge and Transporter set from when you last met him, aren't there?
Yeah, we've got a picture of him flying the helm. I think the Battle Bridge helm that's only ever been out a couple of times because it's just too big and heavy to carry around. So if you're out there, by the way, Trekland, and you want to lend us a hand with Riker's Beard related set issues, we are looking for some kind of decent storage for it rather than rammed into the loft of my office. And transport solutions would be good because it is a struggle to get it anywhere.
Oh yeah, so there's a lot of material there to get moved around
and looked after, and it wouldn't hurt if occasionally we could get it out of storage and do some maintenance on it rather than just dragging it around. So that's the only time really we get it all in one piece. I'm waiting for someone to offer to give me a grant to open a Trek-related pub in which I could just build it all and leave it up.
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
yeah, people would. I mean, I often speak about Page's Bar on the show and what a brilliant place that was. God, something like that again, I think would probably really fly nowadays. So if anybody wants to open a pub and go into partnership with us guys, so I've got the toys, Carl got the license.
There we are. It's a win-win. Who wouldn't want to?
And Dan can do some DJing, but preferably in a building somewhere else, because that's not what I want in my pub. Right. New Zealand. So Kate Mulgrew and Robert Picard are coming. So I mean, here's an interesting question for you peeps out there across the world. We've obviously been through COVID, and travel has been very restricted for a lot of people for a long time, and people are still very anxious about it. How are we seeing these, what I'd call longer range conventions, going now? Because obviously that's a long way from the States. Are they all going to? Good, so you've got the big names going there, but is that something that's only recently restarted, or what's happening? What's the experience?
That would be very useful for the sets.
Yeah, we just need someone to win the lottery and buy us a 7.5 ton lorry, or better still, a Buller engine.
Well, that's not a bad shout. You would build the pub in the theme of Quark's Bar, and then maybe have themed rooms around it. So you've got your bridge room, your transporter set, and then you could build all different themed rooms in your pub. Now,
my friend Darren Jameson, who very talented chap, who does a lot of our LCARS work. LCARS, as I'm sure everybody knows, is the graphics, these things, the control panels. He said if he won the lottery, he would build an Enterprise A themed Airbnb stroke murder mystery type environment.
That'd be great.
Richard had a similar idea. He'd build a full-size runabout interior that basically, you'd have screens outside to make it look like it's in space, but put it on a gimbal and you'd have a murder mystery in there over a weekend. That'd be great fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be quality, that would.
Now, people have asked me, would I build a runabout? And I've said, do you realise it took me 8 years to build a 3.6 metre long shuttle pod? A runabout is 27 meters long.
It's a big piece of kit.
So it's basically the rest of my lifetime to get that built.
And go. I feel like we needed the theme tune to the Generation game in the background then.
Ready, steady, cook. Right, what have you got here? A raw carrot, block of cheese, and some sawdust. Right, we're going to make a pavlova.
Right, make a runabout.
Well, actually, we need the MacGyver music for that, don't we?
Yeah.
But when we compare the stuff that's available to us commercially now, look at what they had when they did TNG and Voyager and DS9, and when they rebuilt the Enterprise D bridge for Picard, it was cheaper to install full flat screen monitors in the back, the size of those panels, than it was to just do backlit transparencies. Backlit transparencies. With the added bonus, you could actually animate them. And you go, well,
it's unreal, isn't it? Absolutely unreal.
We're living in the future, Carl.
Yes. So Vicky's working on the lottery win for us, apparently. Keep working hard on that one, Vicky. Yeah.
I mean, the fire engine, we'd need that just for fun. Hey, now that was another panel somebody did. There was a build your own Klingon armor panel, wasn't there?
Did anyone actually attend? I'm not saying did anyone actually attend it as in it would have been boring. I want to know because I've not heard anything about it. And I spotted that and I thought, that'd be great fun.
I hear it was popular. I believe J.B. Hertzler even judged it. So I think it was quite well subscribed.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a 18 MacGyver crossover panel where you chuck a load of people in a room with some heavy welding gear, some timber, bits and pieces. Say, right, we've got 1 hour to build a shuttle.
Here you go. Here's your materials. So, like you said, you've got your block of cheese, your sawdust. Oh, can we have an egg box as well? You need an egg box for things like this.
Whisk.
And and an old bottle of fairy liquid or something.
Of course, the MacGyver multi-tool, otherwise known as the paperclip.
Yep. So, John, I'm very interested in.
Building track wall, TNG corridor section. Yeah, okay. In your cosplay workshop, John Joe, send us a picture of that. Screen used against tinted black acrylic with solid. Oh, I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you using fixed prints? And I'd like to do that for the other panel. Yeah, they're basically graphics. If so, who are you getting the prints from? Well, I told you his name, Darren Jameson. Look up the artist, and you'll find his page there.
Are we going to the con in Blackpool next year? Well, what we need to happen is, you say, we need everyone, all 3,000 people that went to this weekend, we need them all to write to the organisers and say how lost they'd be without us there in Blackpool. And that'll give us the leverage we need to negotiate our contracts and riders and everything. No, we'll be there. We'll be there.
With the helicopter. Seriously, I'm not driving everything up to Blackpool. They're going to have to helicopter it up.
That's James's way of saying he wants assistance. I think he's realistic enough to understand that a helicopter won't happen, but assistance to actually make it happen.
Realistic. It's perfectly legitimate to expect a helicopter. As we know, the HAL 26 that we looked at on massive choppers the other week could do it. I mean, that can lift a Chinook that's loading everything else.
True. Oh, good. Emma's saying the Klingon armor building went down really well. It was amazing. I hope they do something similar like that at the next one, because I would like to see one of those sessions.
Yeah, I mean, what I saw they had were loaded empty cardboard boxes. Right, here's your raw materials. Off you go. That was a really clever idea. I thought that was great.
Yeah. It is a long drive for you guys. I mean, it probably works out closer to me than Birmingham.
Because you're in the north, aren't you?
Yes. Oh, we're well towards the north. I mean, last time you came up here to visit us, you had cotton buds up your nose permanently because you couldn't stand the altitude. It was.
Well, you know, I get a nosebleed once I go past Hampstead. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe next time, James, what you should do is pre-build the shuttle and drive it up the motorway on a trailer. That'd look awesome.
It would look pretty cool, wouldn't it? I mean, if anyone from the BBC, well, not BBC, they haven't got any money, Channel 5 is watching and they want to commission us to do Trekkie's road trip, you know, it becomes more viable if I can say I'm earning a living out of doing this and I don't have to take time off work.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's the sort of thing Amazon Prime would be interested in sponsoring.
Amazon and Netflix, they've got buckets of cash, haven't they? That's why all the actors are striking, because they're not giving them any.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could do a Top Gear style convoy type show.
Sounds good. So we all have to find. Let's see. We all have to find some sort of van for a budget and trek it up, and then we can do a convoy.
Or better still, just use Dan's car.
Yeah.
Because nobody would do any modifications to Dan's car, would they?
No, not in the slightest. We at least we only do low-level pranks, though. Nothing that would ever cause any harm. It's
Oh dear. So, yeah, right. Okay, what else have we got going on in the comments? Richard has suggested that our Star Trek pub be in the Crooked House.
Yes.
If they rebuild
it.
So, international viewers, the Crooked House was a pub, was until about 2 weeks ago. Basically, there was subsidence underneath it, owing to mining activities causing the whole building to sort of be over at this angle. And it was brilliant because there were tables and things inside the pub where it looked like things rolled uphill.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't doing terribly well as a pub, somebody bought it and after planning permission to convert it into something else wasn't granted, as I understand it, mysteriously the pub caught fire and was rapidly bulldozed because it had become unsafe. But there's a suggestion that they shouldn't have done that, and that it will have to be put back exactly as it was. But it wouldn't be ideal
No.
for us to do a lot of carpentry and things that need to be fairly straight. I mean, something like the Hilton that has level floors, albeit not very good air conditioning.
Seeing a shuttlecraft bearing down on you in your rear view mirror, yeah.
What if you had like Richard leaning out the hatch with the phaser rifle?
Two movie scenes spring to mind off that. There's obviously Jurassic Park, where you've got the T-Rex in the rear view mirror. And then the other one that springs to mind is off an old Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner, I think it was, Jewel of the Nile, where you've got the F-16 coming in behind the car as it's being flown down the road.
There's a Johnny English film where he's in his spy car that's been clamped, and it's on the back of a lorry, and he gets somebody to lift it off the lorry on a crane and drive it along, and he's using the missiles and things from the car.
Yeah,
maybe we can swing the shuttle out over the lorry, chase Ruth down the motorway. Ruth, do you drive? We need to know. Cask Strength Gamer, you worked at Destination Trek. What were you doing there, Cask Strength Gamer?
I'm going to guess he was in the gaming zone that was in the Traders Hall next to the Stage B where we presented from on Sunday.
Ah. Was that computer games or because I know there was a board game section that was run by Kate and James.
Yeah.
Klingons on 3. Yeah, that would be something, wouldn't it? Especially if that handlebars up like this.
Or as Steve says, seeing Worf hanging out, just shouting and screaming that today is a good day to die.
Data wondering why everybody wants to drive at unsafe velocities.
Yes. Oh, it's all over. Ruth doesn't drive.
Well, you've got a year to learn, Ruth.
Yep.
I mean, how hard can it be? So you want people
was on the door for us.
Strength game. Well, obviously we can't tell who you are from the picture, can we?
Yeah. So you were trying to control the mass flow of people coming into the set on Saturday for the photos.
Well, yeah, because I think on the Friday we caused a message to go down to the main stage saying people don't necessarily know we're here.
Yeah.
And I think Tony, bless him, and Dan said,
Tony was good enough to highlight us, wasn't he?
That we're down there, albeit miles down a corridor. And to get to us, you have to go past a bar.
Which was a serious obstacle, let's be honest.
When people were aware that we were down there, we were extraordinarily busy.
Oh, we were blessed with the number of people that came down. I reckon, let's see, I got a good couple of hundred photos. I don't know about Richard. He seems to have had a lot that he's uploading as well. But it was great. It was such a good turnout, and people were really sort of like up for enjoying being on there. You know, with the photo shoots that you get in the convention, I totally understand they've got to be very quick. You get seconds with the guests, but it was so nice to have people.
We're not profit. Yeah.
No, that's it. It was so nice. People really getting into it. They were doing the ship's been hit, flying around, and the old make it so poses. And if we do get the sets to any other events, guys, and you want to get on there and get a specific picture, don't worry about timescales. Don't be scared to ask if you've got a daft photo you want taken. Tell us, and we'll make it happen
within reason.
Well, yeah.
We did invite people to say, look, if you want to come and film a skit or something, then fine. It's not a problem. Come and do it. As long as it doesn't take all day.
Yeah.
I remember who you were, Cass. What's your real name?
Well, it could be one of those. He might be able to tell us, but then he might have to kill us.
He looked probably like he did.
Yes. They stuck you in the lower decks.
Down in the hangar bay, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nicola. It was nice to see you.
Yeah.
Billy.
There we go. We have a name to put to the face now.
Thank you for your help in looking after us, Billy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, golly, is it already 10:05? Gosh.
It is.
Okay, so we'll be back for our regular show on Sunday. Hopefully, we might achieve a full enterprise.
We can but hope.
I think to all the people out there, if you got pictures that you can tag us in, please do, because it'd be lovely to see them. I mean, I think I've seen 1 or 2 pictures of me floating around somewhere, but I haven't got any of my own. Literally, I haven't got any of my own.
Well, I'm not surprised. You were that busy running back and forth between rooms and sort of like chatting to people about the bridge that's being built, because that was the other thing. Everyone was so interested in how you'd done it.
Yes, it's magic. It's the disappointment when you see behind it as to how it will put together. Oh, is that what it is?
You know what? I don't think you're wrong there, Vicky. I think, we should probably call it a night for this evening. And tune in again on Sunday. Make sure you're all there to see us, guys.
Yes, but thank you everyone who's joined us for this impromptu edition of Let's Talk Trek. And Carl for managing to run it off his mobile phone, because I haven't got control of anything. I'm not trusted with any of the buttons.
It's why I'm so small this evening. I'm
barely trusted with these, the props from the Mr. and Mrs. Spanking paddles.
That's their technical term.
Oh, look, here we are. Look, here's my official Let's Talk Trek.
That's the as yet unreleased album cover. We're not quite sure what. So make sure you leave in the comments, folks, what you'd like us to title our first album as.
It'll obviously be some kind of folk and sunken soul fusion.
Yeah. Oh dear. Right. So we'll call it a night, folks, and we shall see you on Sunday.
Cheery bye.